Hello everyone, welcome back to Acre Farm. Anyone that's new here, my name is Kat, and my partner's name is Justin, and we live on 5 acres in Victoria, Australia. So this video is going to be a little bit different because, well, check it out, because of the cockatoos flying over, but also because our week has just been, hasn't been super busy. It's been busy, but it just has been a bit different. So we had our neighbourhood street Christmas party on Saturday, which was so nice. We got to meet some really lovely new neighbours. And then the weather has just been either super windy and not ideal for filming, or just pouring with rain, like absolutely pouring with rain. And it was like there'd be like 5 minutes of no rain and then it would just hammer down. So it was not ideal to be setting up cameras and filming or anything like that. So I'm going to show you, I think I've got 6 seeds that I need to plant from the advent calendar. So I'll do that this morning, and then later on in the video, I'm just going to wait for this wind. If anyone's got any ideas about a little mic that I can get, that I can connect to my phone, just so that to help eliminate any sort of wind noise or anything. So there's a lot that I've been looking at, and they just don't seem to eliminate the wind sound, and we get a lot of wind here, so really needing something that's going to actually work really well. So if you've got any ideas, please let me know and I will have a look and check it out. I'll just wait. So we've had the weather interruptions, but then we also had on the one day, apart from today's perfect, but we had yesterday, they were doing fire prevention works around, it felt like it was literally just around our property. So they were chopping down trees, but then they also had a huge wood chipper that, not just like, you know, when the neighbours are using a wood chipper and it's like, oh yeah, it's a little bit noisy. This is like one of those huge industrial ones that it was so loud. So, but that ended up working out in our favour as well. Have a look at this. And so from all of that huge pile of wood chips, we've managed to start doing some more wood chipping in the paths. We just need to put some cardboard down before we do any more. But I started whippersnippering as well to get rid of some of the grass. Not get rid of it, but just cut it down so it's more likely to not grow through the cardboard and the wood chips. Later on, you're going to see some footage, and I'll probably just put it with music, and I might just jump in every now and then and do a bit of voiceover. But what have I done? I picked some of our little violas, so some little flowers that I'm drying them out in, like I'm going to be pressing them so that then they dry out and they're flat. And that's for something else that'll be coming up later. There'll be a few channels out there that will be able to guess what that's for. Bush Edge Homesteading Australia and Simply Off Grid Australia and the Organised Farm Girl. You guys will probably be able to guess what it is that I'm going to be doing with those. I'll put those channels, I'll put links for them in the description below, so you should check them out. They're all just so nice. They're just such lovely people. I went to a nursery too. So it's a nursery that it's a little way away from where we are, but it's so worth going there because they've got just the amount of plants that they have is just awesome. They have so much stuff there they've also got like they've got like a display garden, 2 acres of a display garden, and I've never actually gone to the display. Every time I've gone there, it's always been like raining or just not ideal. Actually, it was raining when I was there, but it was sort of not a huge amount of rain. It was enough that I could still get some nice footage. So you'll see some of that. So the place is called, I always struggle to say it, Roraima Nursery. The man who runs it is Lyle Philippe, and so he actually knows my mum and my stepdad, and he's got some of their old old like antique stuff, like garden stuff in the garden. So I spotted some of that, which was nice to see. So I went there and I got 9 Feijoa plants because we're planting them up on the north side, so it's going to be a bit of a fire break. Well, not a fire break, but like plants. So the Feijoas, because they're evergreens, so they don't lose their leaves over winter, but they're also like fire resistant, so they're not fireproof. There's no plants that are actually fireproof, but they are fire resistant, and they might just help sort of block a bit of the northerly winds, because to the north of us is a lot of bushland. Actually, we've got a lot of bushland all around us, but to the north is here in Victoria, that's where the fire will mostly come from, but it can also come from any direction with wind changes and that kind of thing. But yeah, we thought we would get a little hedge set up, so you'll see some footage of me planting that, and then I'll show you a bit more in the next few days. I'll do a proper little walk around and I'll show you, because there's so much happening in the garden. It's really nice actually, because we've had so much rain and it's been freezing cold. Like the last few days has been between probably 11 and 15 degrees, which for us here in summertime is freezing. Absolutely, like so cold. That would normally be like the minimum temperature, but that's been the maximum temperature. A lot of the things, they just haven't been growing as well as normal, which, yeah, it's a bit, not frustrating, just sort of like, a bit disappointing really. But then, it's still, everything's still kicking along. It's just a little bit delayed. So normally we would be at a point where we would probably even have, almost be having tomatoes to harvest, and we can see the flower buds on our tomato plants and they're just about to bloom. But yeah, just is little things like that is sort of, yeah, we're sort of a few steps back as to where we would normally be, but that's okay. All right, so I've got my little basket and I'll have a look at the seeds for the advent calendar that we've got. And I put some mulch on the Earthly Roots podcast garden. So we'll have a look at these next few seeds and see what they are. Okay, number 11, yellow tomatoes. Oh, cool. So I think one of the other ones was tomatoes. I feel like there was tomatoes, basil and capsicum in the last few ones. So hopefully those little yellow tomatoes are like the tiny little yellow cherry tomatoes. I think we might have some of those seedlings that are needing to go into the ground. They're from our old place from a couple of years ago, and we saved the seeds. And yeah, we had some grow last year, and they are just, they are delicious. Zinnia, Violet Queen. Ooh, yes, I love zinnias. They're gorgeous. Oh, wow, there's heaps. I might actually save some of them and pop some of them into some seedling trays so I can make sure that I just don't know if I'm really hoping everything in the garden will go well, but it may not, so save some of them. Coriander, yum! I love coriander. Seems to grow really well here too. I think we've got 4 little parts of coriander at the moment that we've got growing. We've also got some that is like I don't know how they do it, but the muck is special so it doesn't bolt really quickly. It's my little stick that I've been putting in the ground so I know where I'm up to. 14. Yellow squash. Awesome. We haven't actually got any squash planted. We've got I might just put them a little bit further along then. We've got our zucchinis planted and they've really loved the warmer weather and the rain that we've had as well. They're kicking along nicely. Orange poppy. Oh, cool. I love the mix of veggies and flowers. It's like perfect. It's got my name written all over it. I'm such a big fan of having flowers planted all around. Helps with the pollinators. And last one for today. Butternut pumpkin. Oh, yum. I love butternut pumpkin. I might actually put this one at the end here, just so that then I can pop it at the end and have it growing along. It'll sprawl out and grow around there. There we go, all done. So yeah, now I'll show you a bit of the footage of what I got up to during the week. Well, it's not even everything that we did, it's just some of the stuff. But and then yeah, I think I might, maybe in the next couple of days, I'll do a bit of a walk around and I'll show you everything that's happening, things that are growing and doing really well. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching and we'll see you in the next couple of days. Bye.